What's up gamers, DreamcastGuy here, reviewing today Halo 5 Guardians. Master Chief is walking a very dangerous path. Is he a traitor abandoning the human race, or a soldier willing to defy orders for the greater good? This is a question that lies at the heart of our latest deep space adventure, and no one needs these answers more than the man who pursues him, Spartan Locke. Nearly every facet of Halo 5 is a massive departure from the previous games. Let's start out by looking at the new story. This time around we're playing as alternating lead characters. Half of the missions we're playing as Locke, trying to track down and capture Master Chief. The other half of the missions we're playing as Master Chief, trying to find out what exactly happened to Cortana. Amidst this struggle awakens a new dangerous foe, a race called the Guardians. These monolithic-sized creatures have mysterious powers and even more ambiguous goals. To deal with this new threat to the galaxy, we're gonna have to fight smart, and luckily, we no longer have to fight alone. In the campaign, you now have 4 AI-controlled Spartans to assist you in battle. They'll give you cover fire, ride shotgun in your vehicles, and most importantly, revive you when you get hurt. Since you no longer die instantly when your shields run out, enemies seem to be equipped with more dangerous weaponry to keep things balanced and difficult. It seemed like every elite I'd get close to would break out an energy sword and try and swat me down for being so gutsy, and every Promethean wouldn't hesitate to charge me. To help us take down these new, tougher enemies, our Spartans are equipped with a lot more abilities. You can now sprint, do a special charge to break down barriers, and even hover in midair for a few seconds and try and line up a special headshot before slamming down onto the ground. The main draw of the Halo series has always been the combat, having all these different guns to use for different situations, and these new tactics to use in battle make it all the better. While playing through the 15 campaign missions, you're going to see the full power of the Xbox One on display. Levels are far bigger and better designed, and it seems like every frame is filled with diverse environments and gorgeous explosions. You can go from sniping in lush green fields to sneaking through dark alien structures in minutes, and they're all rendered beautifully. I do want to make a small note here and say that the game does run at 1080p 60 frames a second, but I would notice that the enemies would move at 30 frames a second if a lot was going on screen. I'm not a huge frame rate snob, but this made them look choppy and out of place compared to the environments around them when this happened. For the most part, this campaign's storytelling and voice acting are very solid, but where it falls short is the overall delivery. Almost every major story moment is told while 4 people are walking through a doorway and someone explains what's happening. Our heroes are supposed to be these nearly godlike super soldiers, but it seems like they can't figure anything out unless it's explained to them. At times, missions would have some pacing issues as well. At one point, I was driving my Warthog full speed through a battlefield, trying to zigzag and avoid explosions, but when I arrived at my destination, I just had to wander around and talk to locals for 10 minutes. These stalls in story keep it from ever having a smooth flow, but that doesn't stop it from having some epic battles anyways. The real highlight of this game though comes from the newly rebuilt, drastically changed multiplayer. All the standard multiplayer modes from the older games do return, so if you're wanting to capture some flags, score some headshots, and rack up some points, you still can. Once you've warmed up your shooting skills, you can set your sights on the brand new mode called Warzone. This drops you and a team in a large map filled with both AI enemies and enemy players. The goal is to score 1,000 points. Points can be gotten in 3 ways. You can capture a series of forts placed around the map. You can kill the enemy players, or you can try and tackle the bosses that randomly spawn on the map. As you and your team rack up kills, you'll notice a bar at the bottom showing how much you've leveled up. Your team shares a level. This unlocks more weapons and more vehicles that can be used. This is where the requisition system comes in. Winning matches in multiplayer gives you a currency that can be spent to buy boxes filled with items. Extra guns, armor customization, and even vehicles are found inside these boxes. And depending on what you find, these can be used in Warzone. If you want, it's also possible to buy these lockboxes with real money. For the most part, I absolutely despise microtransactions, but I will say that at least these are rather fair. The changes to the core combat that made Halo famous, these fresh new multiplayer modes, and the twists they've added to the story have made this an experience unlike anything I've played before in this series. 343 Industries has done their best to take Halo in an all-new direction, and although I miss some of the great moments of the past, I'm more hopeful than ever for the future of Halo. Okay, so we've heard some good and some bad, but let's head over the ratings board and put a big number on it. I am giving Halo 5 Guardians an 8 out of 10. Overall, this game does so much right, and although I think it's missing that tiny spark that makes it magnificent, it's still something I think everybody with an Xbox One should play. If you enjoy hours of online multiplayer, then I'm going to put this game down as a must-buy. Thanks so much for watching, gamers. This has been DreamcastGuy with another review. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, maybe check out my last video. Please subscribe, and if you want, share this somewhere with your friends.